Sir, can you just send me can you send me the link once again on my mail? Otherwise, I'm just trying. Huh? One sec. Just give me 2 minutes time.
Your microphone is on.
Why it is not working, ma'am?
No. I mean, this one, I have actually, this is my mobile, but I wanted to get it from my laptop. That is the reason. Just give me 2 minutes time. I'll just get it done. Huh? One sec. Don't know, one sec. I'm just one thing. I don't know why it's not opening today. Let me just disconnect and I'll just start again. Huh? I don't know what's happening today. I don't know why it's taking time. Just a minute. Yes. Can you hear me? Well, I'll just switch off my mobile. Is it audible now? Yes.
It's audible but not visible.
Okay. Oh, it's not visible? Should be.
Yeah.
Kabiru, how are you?
Good
Hamza, how
morning,
are
ma'am.
you? Am I visible?
Yes, ma'am, you are visible.
Am I
But
Good
visible now?
morning.
you share this.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
you are visible.
okay. Okay, we'll start. Sorry for being late. Okay. I don't know what was the issue. Like, I was unable to open the link. That was the problem. Okay.
Ma'am,
So just give me
that
2
is
minutes time.
what happened yesterday. We couldn't be able to join the class yesterday. Due to this, it seems like it appears like the link
No,
was.
no, this was, Yes, I don't know what happened. Like, I had the link, but I was clicking on the link, but it was not
Microphones.
Ma'am, I
operating.
had sent a mail to, I had sent a link to your mail.
Yes, sir, I got it. I got it. I think
Yes,
now it is
you have seen
visible and
that. So
audible.
that the
Huh?
phone link was sent.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Sorry for the
No,
inconvenience.
no, it's all right. All right.
Um, is it visible now? The
Yes,
PPT?
it is.
Okay, so very
Yes,
good morning to all the learners. And today, I'll be trying to cover four units. Today, I'll be trying to cover four units: Unit 15, Unit 16, Unit 17, Unit 18. See, all are linked. Like, okay, so 15th chapter is employees motivation and job enrichment, followed by career planning, then employees counseling, and then performance monitoring and appraisal. So let's start. I'm already late by 5 minutes. Okay, so basically, after going through this chapter, employees motivation and job enrichment, yesterday we learned about about the induction, placement, then staff training and development, then motivation and productivity, because motivation is also very much required. So same today we'll be learning about employees motivation. What is employees motivation? Yesterday we have covered, like, but still then just I'll tell you what is motivation and job enrichment. So after going through this unit, you should be able to appreciate the concepts related to employee motivation and job satisfaction, because unless and until the employees are not motivated, if they are not properly satisfied with the job, the environment, then it is very difficult to retain the customer, retain the employees. And once the employees, we are not able to satisfy the employees or retain the employees, then it would lose in the productivity of the organization would reduce. So it is very necessary, we need to motivate the employee. We also need to understand the techniques that can be used to motivate the employees and comprehend alternative methods by which jobs can be made more interesting. Okay, yeah, like there are many cases, like yesterday only I was telling, but only I think Ahmed was there in the class. But yes, our festival Diwali is coming. So the Diwali, like last time, I'm in the month of October, we had this Durga Puja, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Then this Diwali is coming. Diwali is on this coming Sunday. And most of the corporates and all, they are celebrating in the office, they are having Diwali parties, because Diwali will be celebrated on Sunday. But since usually the companies work for 5 days a week and all, so they are trying to celebrate their have a company party and all, Diwali party. So they'll be getting bonuses, they'll be getting gifts and all. Now, why I told you all this, why I gave you this example, the reason behind is, employees need to be motivated. So these always work and work. There's a saying like, all work and play makes all work and no play, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So you have to work. In between there should be some parties to refresh yourself. Sometimes the company staff, employees, they go to different for this dinner party, then they have a cocktail dinner, then they have some visit to a different place, and this is sightseeing and all. So this is basically, you need to motivate the employees, you need to refresh them, because too much task, and if always work, that makes you again very stressful. So to avoid all this, that is what is employee motivation is very much necessary, where the employee, what happens in this case, the organization invests on training, invest on development, invest on certain programs and all, to motivate the employee. So both employee motivation and job enrichment are described as two management techniques. These are basically the strategies, you can see. And why it is used? It is basically used to improve the human behavior and the attitude towards work. Okay. So the same thing, if you eat every day rice and chicken, you won't feel, you feel like, no, I should have a change. Change is very much required. So similarly, these motivational strategies are being are being implemented by the organizations to improve the human behavior and attitude towards work. Now, both employee motivation, as well as job enrichment, this is a very crucial factor for the success of any organization. And employees and the motivated, you can see the motivated ones, the employees are motivated, they become more productive. And once they become more productive, it would increase the productivity of the company. So they become more productive, they become more engaged and satisfied with their work. And what is the result? It would lead to higher levels of job performance and retention. Means, once, suppose the staff gets a get a new job offer in another organization, so obviously, he'll try to switch over. But what happened if the employee is satisfied, and if there's some, it's a part of the it's you can see the job of the HR department, HR management, HR manager, that he should try to retain the employees. So and this is basically, there are several ways, to motivate the employees. So in today's class we'll be discussing about those, and including providing them, you can say, opportunities for job enrichment. Now, when we talk about job enrichment, it basically involves the enhancing an employee's job by giving them more responsibility, more autonomy, then opportunities for the growth and development. Sometimes you have joined the organization in the position of supervisor, but you are being given some promotion. So obviously you feel, you feel delighted, you feel happy, you feel that the organization, the management is having trust and faith on you. They find that you are more responsible. So that is what is job enrichment is all about. So what happened by offering job enrichment, basically employees are more likely to feel valued. They feel valued in their work, especially in the organization, and that leads to increased motivation as well as job satisfaction. So ultimately it would result in high productivity, then also your creativity, your innovative ideas that can be implemented. When you have when some suggestions, when some opinions are there, you can always give your suggestions, you can be more creative, which would result, in increasing the productivity of the organization. And additionally, the employees also feel that the work is meaningful, it is worth fulfilling, and they are more likely to remain with the organization, thus reducing the turnover and associated costs. So, as I told you, every employee, like in my last class, I've mentioned that every employee has some expectations from the organization. So similarly, organization, when they recruit the particular last class, I have discussed about recruitment. So when they recruit an staff or recruit a candidate, recruit not a staff, I mean recruit a candidate, they should find all the abilities, capabilities. So they also have lot of expectations from the candidate. So in the meantime, when the staff also, when they join an organization, they also do have some expectations which would satisfy their needs. That can be your personal needs as well as your professional needs. So job, and when we talk about job enrichment, it is basically a motivational problem created by the alienation of employees from their work or by lack of interest in their work. So here the problem is how to make the work more interesting, more purposeful, acceptable to the employees. So motivation is also a problem, you can say, of human behavior and work attitude. In fact, both employee motivation and job enrichment are the problems which every supervisor and manager has to face while managing and making their subordinate work. Because unless and until the manager is there, below him there are other supervisors are working there, so they have to find how to motivate this employee. Sometimes what happens is, the if the employee is being told, if the staff is being told, you work for some extra 2 hours or 3 hours, they feel I mean, they feel dissatisfied. Especially, we also, sometimes what happens, we are being called on Sundays. That is a holiday. The Sunday is a weekly holiday. So we are being called on Sundays because we have some other associations or some engagements, or some we have some guests coming to our college, university. So what happened? We have to come on Sundays also. But sometimes, our head of the department, what he does, he gives a compensated off. Since you're working on Sunday, so you will be getting a compensated off. So everybody feels very happy, they come to work on Sunday because what they feel, if they come on Sunday, they will get a compensated off. So compensated off, they can easily, later on, whenever as per the requirement, they can utilize it. See, working for 5 days or 6 days, you know that you'll get a Saturday and Sunday as holiday. Like we get Sunday as a holiday. So we know after every 6 days, we get a Sunday as a holiday. But what happened if we work continuously for 15 days, we get one Sunday. So what happened? We can accumulate those compensated off, and we can go to some different place. We can, I mean, take 2 days leave at a time. So that is how these things are being compensated. Okay. So what happened? The boss, why it is sometimes a pressure, why it creates a problem, because the manager has to think that how you need to how you need to monitor, how you need to motivate the employees. That is also essential. He thinks that is also an essential duty of the manager, how to motivate the employees. Okay. So literally motivation, you can say it's an move or an act. And especially, it obviously desired implies as desired in the interest of the organization or the employee. So to motivate, there is, you have to induce, or you have to persuade, you have to stimulate, as well as even compel. As when fear becomes a motivator, an employee to act very consciously or subconsciously in a manner which may help in attaining the organizational objective. So, what demotivates or demoralizes the employees? There are some management practices which affect the morale of the employees, or willingness of the employees to give their best, or work in a desired manner. Now, some of these practices are like, under assignment or over assignment. Under assignment, you are capable of doing this, but you are not being given this particular job to do, so you are under assigned. So sometimes what happens, you feel like, you are not being valued. So that is over assignment. When the worker is good, he is being given overloaded, and there he thinks that he is being exploited. And so what happens, one day, 2 day, fine enough. But if every day you are being over exploit, I mean, you are overloaded with work, you feel you are being exploited, and at one point of time, you feel you lose the interest in your work. So that is very important. Whoever the manager, he has to maintain all this, and the HR manager has to monitor all this. And especially in big organizations, it's a very common practice to pick up good workers, as others cannot be trusted or depend upon. Suppose all of you are working at the same position, same level, okay? But the maybe the general manager thinks that, I should pick one or two from them because they are more suitable. So sometimes, that has an impact. Oh, out of this 10 staff of the same level, he has picked up only two because he finds that they are trustworthy, or they are more responsible. So sometimes these all happens, okay, and this demotivates the employee. So then there is also, manipulative behavior of the management. You are supposed to get promotion, or you are supposed to get an incentive, but you are not being given, because there's also this bias. Suppose you have come, you are very close to your head of the department, and you get an incentive. The HR, because it is the head of the department who makes the appraisal, who gives the appraisal, and you feel demotivated when you are not being the given good appraisal. So ultimately it would reflect on your career growth and all. So manipulative behavior of the management, that may also take the form of divide and rule policy or tactics, making then sometimes the organizations, companies, they make promises which are not fulfilled. And there is also groupism and so on, which also have a demotivating effect. This groupism and backbiting, these all political money, office politics, this keeps on going, and you have this groupism and all. So this reflects on the you know on the employees also. It has a very negative impact on the employee. So this is the reason why nowadays, especially the HR department, earlier it was a different, but now especially the HR in the in the corporates and all, they have different types of activities. That is where where the employees, where the staff are being told to participate, like corporate social responsibilities and all. Then you have where the activities are being taken place. Then maybe sometimes every end of the month you have a meeting followed by a lunch, I mean, and all. So that boosts your energy, you can. So where everybody feels that no, we are valued, we are worth for the company. So and once it is very necessary to ensure that the employees perceive such behavior, because if they are not happy, then they cease to work and lose interest in the same, and it would result in the that would you can say the productivity decreases. So once the productivity decreases for the organization, it would not result in profit. So that is very important. Now, coming to job enrichment, as I told you, job enrichment is basically a term that is used for the process of achieving and improving the quality of work life. You are being given promotion, you are being assigned more activities. That is what happens. So there's a scientist who's known as Henberg. He describes that job enrichment. Uh, he described job enrichment as that type of improvement in the context of the job which may give a worker more of a challenge, more of a complete task, more responsibility, more opportunity for growth, and more chance to contribute his or her ideas. So whenever, as I yesterday I told you, your strengths, your weakness, your opportunities, there are challenges. So whenever you are being, sometimes you are being given a new responsibility. So what happens, you usually don't take that responsibility. You think, no, I am already handling one project, why should I handle the other project? But you are given that extra responsibility. But when you are given extra responsibility, maybe you are not given any extra perks or benefits for that. So you feel demotivated. But sometimes what happens, you also think it's a challenging project for me, I should complete this. Once I complete it very fruitfully, then I can show it to my boss, see, I have completed very effectively and efficiently, I have completed the project. So you have to take, sometimes many work issues, they come as very challenging. So you have to grab those opportunities, take it, that they are very challenging, which may not at that point of time may not be fruitful, or you think, but after, maybe in later part of your life, that would really be a feather in your, that would act as a feather in your cap. So that is how things are, like depend from vary from organization to organization. And what I mean to say, when some responsibilities are being given to you, you should be very committed to that work, so the boss also feels, no, whatever responsibility has been given to you, you have ensured that it is being completed, and I mean, you have done it in a very efficient manner. So, job enrichment. Now, there is another word called job enlargement. So, what do you mean by job enlargement? Like job enrichment and job enlargement, both these changes involve redesigning of the job, and the objective of humanizing work by introducing more variety in work, like increasing responsibilities, making the work more interesting, making it more challenging and motivating. So, job enlargement implies addition of more functions, increasing the variety of tasks and duties to reduce the monotony. See, one thing is, if you are being given the same job again and again, you also feel monotonous at one point of time. So you have, that is the reason where you have to learn, de-learn and relearn. Understood? Where you have to learn, de-learn and relearn. Why are you attending all these online classes, whether it's in your like any related to IT sector, or suppose anything and all? Why? Because you need to you have to reskill yourself, so that is very important. So you know, if the same job is being done again and again, you feel monotonous. So that is the reason, you know, something interesting has to be given, challenging. So that is what is job enlargement is all about. So basically, you know, the when we differentiate between job enrichment and job enlargement, job enrichment implies an improvement in the quality and variety of work, and the additional responsibilities are of a crucial nature, encompassing self growth by introducing motivators. Again, if you talk about job enlargement, it merely makes a job structurally bigger, while job enrichment provides the opportunity for the employee's psychological growth. Enlargement, you are given more responsibility. It's like you now, you know, you are just handling one department. Earlier you were handling one department, but now you are handling two departments. Okay, so that is job enlargement. Okay, now job enrichment at the sense, like you can say you're getting a promotion and all those. Okay, so the job enrichment approach to job designing is therefore more often recommended by the behaviorist. It should be more job enrichment than job enlargement. Okay, how to enrich jobs, you know, rotation of tasks, broadening of qualifications of skills and responsibilities, then increasing the responsibilities of the individuals and giving the employees, you know, more scope to vary the method, sequence and space of their work. Then you know, sometimes, you know, allowing them to more say on influencing setting targets and the standard of performance, giving the employees the control information that they need to monitor their own performance. As I told you, like, you know, sometimes what happens, the appraisal, you know, the appraisal, your increment is based on your appraisal. So usually what happens, the head of the department gives the appraisal of the subordinates, but now there is also self appraisal. Self appraisal means where the where the employee himself herself has to appraise himself, you know, like out, it is like, you know, Likert scale. How do you you know, evaluate yourself out of 10, your performance wise, your creativity wise, your leadership skills, your communication skills, you have brought business to the organization. So these are the so basically encouraging the participation of employees in planning work, innovating new techniques and reviewing the results. So that is what is very necessary. Okay, then coming, like, I would like to summarize, you should have the willingness to work. You know, willingness to work is as important a component of one's performance as his or her ability to work, if not more. So motivation means not only willingness to work, but also willingness to work in a desired manner, which may help to attain the organization objective. And the incentive can be made to motivate employees to better performance. You are being given perks, you are being given bonuses, you are being given incentives. So that's why it is being given. It is being given to motivate the employees so that they can give their best, they can perform well. And you know, it is, every human problem has a motivation element. See, if you sometimes, you know, you should know how to appreciate. Appreciation is also very important. If your always boss shouts at you and, you know, always always try to point out the negative things in you, you know, so what happened, you get demotivated. But the boss should also know how to appreciate his employees, you know. Once he appreciates, one, he just, you know, in front of others, he makes judge. It's not always a judgmental view, you know, he thinks, he appreciates. So you feel, you know, that you are being valued, you are being worth. So that is how this employee motivation is all about. So you can say, like, you know, motivation is a situational, it is a situational problem as well as a complex problem, as it relates to human behavior and attitude towards work, which is subject to change and so difficult to predict also. And employee motivation is intrinsic as well as extrinsic, because it is affected by elements present both within and outside the job. So this was all about your employees motivation. I have a small video on this. I'll just show you the video. 1 minute. Kaberu, was it visible? Were you able to understand?
Yes, ma'am. Visible.
Okay, 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 okay. Now I'll show you on video. Okay, 1 minute. Yes, job enrichment. Huh? What is job enrichment? It's just a 1.5 minutes video.
Okay, okay.
Hello everyone. Today our topic is job enrichment, a technique used in job design to
1 minute, I'll have to share it. Is it visible now?
increase motivation among employees. Job enrichment is often confused with job enlargement, but they are not the same. While job enlargement involves adding additional tasks to
Yes,
a
ma'am.
job, job enrichment focuses on adding an additional dimension
Okay.
to the job to increase motivation. The main purpose of job enrichment is to increase motivation by making the job more meaningful and enjoyable for employees. This is achieved by incorporating the five basic dimensions from the job characteristic model. These are skill variety, task identity, task significance, autonomy, and feedback. It is worth noting that job enrichment is generally more applicable to white-collar managers than the blue-collar workers. Researchers have shown that blue-collar workers are more concerned with job security, wages, workplace processes, and rules, and may not respond to motivation enhancing measures as positively as white-collar workers. The concept of job enrichment emerged as a response to the loss of motivation experienced by employees on the production line, as highlighted by Frederick Hesberg's two-factor motivation theory. According to this theory, employees are motivated by factors such as recognition, meaningful work, and a sense of accomplishment. Job enrichment can take various forms, such as recognizing production lines to give employees more responsibility for the entire process, implementing quality circles, creating project teams, and providing autonomy to work or project groups. However, it is important to carefully evaluate the suitability of job enrichment for a particular employee before implementing it, as it may not always be beneficial. If an employee abuses the authority or fails in their responsibilities, the manager may need to withdraw the given autonomy. If you are interested in learning more about job analysis, lean, and Six Sigma management,
So that was about job enrichment and job enlargement. Okay. So you got to know the difference. Okay. Now I'll move to the next unit, that is about career planning. So did you understand about the? Did you get to understand about the video, Kabiru?
Yes, ma'am. It's really interesting, man. Because
Okay.
this job
Okay. Okay.
enrichment is very crucial.
Okay. I'll move to the next PPT. Okay. 1 minute. Huh? So we are moving to this. That is career planning. Okay. This is the next PPT, Unit 16. Yeah. Is it visible now? Yeah, this
Yes,
is
ma'am.
Unit 16. This is about career. Okay, thank you. Huh? So, when we talk about career planning, there are so many things. As I told you, you need to learn, you need to de-learn, you need to relearn. So, you have to learn, you keep on learning. Learning is a never ending process. Then you have to acquire knowledge, and education is very important. That also makes you, also education is very important because that also makes you young and also relevant. That is why education is very important. Okay, you have to be very hardworking, you need to have contact, because today's world depends on the one thing is reference, that is you need to have contacts, and another is collaboration. Two C's are very important. One is contacts, another is collaboration. Okay, then you have to have leadership skills, you have to have a good reputation. How would you build the reputation? Because through your performance, then perseverance is very important. And when all these, then you have the abilities, you have the experience, then all these are all, you can say, parts of the career. Okay, these are all involved. Okay, now what is yes, 1 minute. Huh. So after going through this unit, you should be able to know what career planning is and how it differs from manpower planning and succession planning. And you need to understand the needs, the purposes, the objectives, what are the advantages of career planning, what are the limitations, then also describe the process of career planning and development, and delineate the conditions under which career planning can succeed in an organization. Then first is what is career planning. So basically, when a career planning is very important aspect of motivating employees. That's, I told, again, there's again, it's coming motivational, the word motivation, that's a key word. So career planning is a very another important aspect of motivating the employees. And why? Because by providing opportunities for the employees to set and achieve their career goals within the organization, they are more likely to feel motivated and engaged in their work. Sometimes you're working in a project and you get the chance to go abroad. So you feel so motivated, and after that, what happens? I have seen, they are maybe on a project. They are in India. They are going to Germany or someone for a project. They are staying there for 1 or 2 years and coming back. So they become financially, not only financially strong, but they, I mean, there's a job enlargement. There's a, I mean, that's a very big motivational power. A person getting because just, so, I mean. From your own salary going abroad to a destination is a very difficult, I mean, not for a normal person. Okay, I mean, people who just depend from hand to mouth salary, so it's for difficult for them if you are under salaried structure and all. But you see, most of the corporates, who are going abroad, you will find they are going, companies paying them, companies for some project work or for some conference or for some training and development, they are sending them to abroad. So this is one of the important aspect, and how the employees also feel motivated. So you can say, this can be like career planning, they can be achieved through regular performance reviews. How you perform, those are being reviewed by your seniors. Then you have a goal setting sessions. Then you also providing opportunities for the training and development. Yesterday we discussed about training and development. So you can say, by investing in employees career development, organizations can show that they value their employees and are committed to their growth and success. Because, when the employee is, if the organization, if the management finds that the employee is worth retaining, he has the potential to accomplish the particular project or something. So obviously lot of opportunities are being given to. And of course, what happens, this can lead to higher levels of job satisfaction, as well as the motivation of the employees, as well as retention. And the employees are more likely to feel valued and worth for the organization. So that is, you can, I mean, they think that the organization is supporting their career aspirations. So it is generally understood to be a management technique for mapping out the entire career of young employees in high skilled supervisory and managerial positions. See, this hotel management or tourism, these are all skill based. Okay, so many of our students, we have found, they just studied the hotel management and tourism, and some of them are working in India, but some of them had shifted abroad because they got that opportunity depending on their performance, and of course you should be very sometimes what happened, you have to have that aspirations also, that also matters a lot. Sometimes they are working. Recently I met one of my student, and she's working in a marketing company, so she told me that she had been to Kuwait and some other countries and all. So she was so happy. So in that case we also feel happy. So what happened, she was very good in marketing skills and all. So what she was trying to tell me now, she's not only she's with a digital marketing company. Yes, she was with a digital marketing company, and she had been to the, I think, Kuwait, for selection of candidates. That's, see how it's, like she's working in the HR and all. She's into digital marketing of some HR and all. I don't know exactly, I don't remember, but she went to Kuwait to select candidates from there. So what is this thing, she has that potential, so the company found her more suitable. That is the reason she was sent to. So you have to be very skilled. That is what is very important. And what happens, your skill that has to be identified and discovered by the your boss or the head of the department, the HR manager. It is being said, managers, all managers cannot all leaders leaders can be managers, but all managers cannot be leaders also, sometimes. Because a leader is someone who identifies the potential of the leadership skills in other employee or subordinates of his team, and try to motivate them. That is what is a very important leadership skills. It is not only, I am a leader, I am leading my team. No, you have to find the potential, the skill in the other, in your team, and you have to ensure they can become leaders of tomorrow. So you have to motivate them. So you have to discover, you have to find the potential, who are the talented employees, staff, and accordingly you should give them the opportunities. See, there are people working at the same position getting the same salary, but you will find some are talented, some are not that talented. But what happens, as I told you, there is bias, there is groupism, there is all this stuff in work culture in the company. So sometimes what happens, you are not talented, but you are being given that opportunity. So this should not be there. So the HR should ensure all these, so that is what happens. We should try to identify the talents, and we should give them the opportunities. Because they not only, it is not about giving lot of time in for the company, but yes, their innovative ideas, their creativity, which makes a difference. That is what very it should be, is very important. So some writers, on organizational matters, have described it as the regulation of blue-eyed jobs. It is also described like career planning. It is also being described as a process of synthesizing and harmonizing the needs of the organization with the innate aspirations of the employees, so that will the latter realize self-fulfillment, the former's effectiveness is improve. That is what happens. Okay, the organization, it's always, if sometimes what happens, the company thinks that you are very talented, so they try to exploit you. That is also one. So you have to look for yourself, how you can enhance your career growth. At the same time, you should also have some contribution towards the company also. We have seen many people, they are talented, but they don't contribute for the organization. Well, they contribute, but their contribution is very limited. Like, my job is to teach, so I'll only teach. But no, it is not like that. My job is to teach means I'll only teach, but there are some other, you can write research papers. For example, I work with NSS, National Service Scheme. National Service Scheme is basically an organization which is Government of India's organization, where the students are being trained so that they can be leaders. How they have to be trained, they have some commitment towards the society. So only bookish knowledge won't help you. Okay, you have to, I showed you that, like responsibility in my other when I was taking the TS-7 environment classes. So there I have showed, it is only not that you are an engineering student, you should only be with your tools, equipments, and laptop and all, but you should also have some responsibility towards the society, where you can give something to the society. So that is what, education, educate, you are educating the society, so that also has to be there. So what I mean to say, it is not only your job description is not only limited, okay, it is not limited to this. No, you have to do, you can always, if you have some in offices and in corporate companies and all, there are different committees, like in our universities we also do have, there's a cultural committee, then there is a committee, disciplinary committee. So there are different committees, and people are being given, I mean faculties are given the responsibility. So that is, these are all extra job, that is job description, extra activities or extra, that being given to them responsible beside teaching. Teaching is the main, but beside this they are also. So I am also, I'm the program officer of the NSS National Service Scheme, where I have some, it is education through service. The thing is, it's not me, but so it is education through service. So you have to educate people through your service. The services towards the society, for the benefit of the society. So career planning gives only a picture of the of the succession plan and of the potentials for the development of the persons already in position for the future manpower needs caused by retirements and other casualties, the future development. Okay, so sometimes career planning, what happen, people after superannuation or retirement, they think, no, I have worked for so long years, now I won't do. But he's a knowledgeable person, he's a talented person. So what happens, he's being, the companies want him as an advisor, because he has superannuated from a high position, from a, maybe you can say, general manager or CEO of the company. And there's an age like 60 or 65, after which you have to retire from the organization. But the knowledge you have gathered, the experience you have gathered, you can always share with other companies. So companies, they try to select, I mean they try, I mean they always give you an offer, ki, please come to our organization and work as an advisor. So some advices you give, so that we can be, where loopholes are there, where we need to work on, you please advise on that particular, give your ideas, your those things, and those things really matters. Okay, so that is what happens. Even so, you have to do a career planning in such a way that only after 60 years you won't work. It's not like that. If you feel like doing some social work, you can also get yourself involved. So career planning is very important, and an organization has to build theoretical career ladders for all key and important employees. And if important, that is hardworking and capable employees have to be retained. Their aspirations for growth have to be satisfied also. However, there cannot be effective manpower planning if there is an ineffective career planning in the organization. So you can say career planning is an integral part of the manpower planning, which in turn is an important part of the business or corporate planning. So these are, like identify your employees career goals and interests, identify the training, prepare the career development plan, meet with employee to discuss, revise and adjust plans as needed. These are all very much needed while doing the these are the purposes and objectives of career planning. You should use human resources, your workforce should be strong, and proper utilization of managerial reserves available at all levels. You will find lot of talented people, but they are not being properly utilized. So once they are not being properly utilized, their efficiency also becomes blunt. So that is how, what a leader is, what is a manage as a leader, as a head of the department. You should identify who is skilled in this particular areas, and you should pick them up, make the work done through them. Okay, so and of course, what is utilization of managerial reserves available at all levels. Then overall achievement of the organizational development, so it would result in higher productivity and would fulfill the corporate objectives, and ensure that men, women of promise are given a sequence of experiences that will equip them for whatever responsibility they have the ability to reach. provide the individuals, the staff, the employees with guidance, encourage them, I mean motivated, encourage them so they may need if they are to fulfill their potentials and remain with the company. So, those are very specific, measurable, accountable, reachable, time specific. Okay. And there are also some limitations of career planning, as by investing in employees' career development, organizations can always show that they value their employees and are committed to their growth and success. So, obviously, this would lead to higher levels of job satisfaction as well as motivation. Additionally, you can say career planning can also lead to a more skilled and knowledgeable workforce. There should be a skilled and knowledgeable workforce that is required for any organization. As employees are given the opportunity to develop new skills and knowledge that can benefit both for the employee and the organization. For suppose, for example, you are supposed to be given a training or you wanted to learn some you want to any a specific computer language you wanted to learn. Okay, so if you learn personally, if you want to learn personally, then you have to invest and it's a very expensive. But what happens when you are with the organization, you are being given training on that. So sometimes what happens, the training is not being imparted in the campus, but the training is being imparted at a different location, maybe some location where other people of your same level, same position, they also attend that. So once you go there, you stay in a hotel, you stay in a 3-star, 4-star, or 5-star hotel. You get to enjoy the staying at a 5-star hotel. Then not only that, you interact with people, you come in contact with different people who are located at different places. So how that interaction starts, then you also acquire more knowledge, you also gain gain references, then there are collaborations and all this. So what happens, this is a it's a mutual understanding, so you learn a lot of things. So so maybe sometimes what happens, you can always get references, you wanted to switch to a job and you meet someone in your during your training period who has helped you, who has become a reference of yours to get a better job. So these are few examples. Now what happens, if you wanted to learn personally, then you have to pay from your own pocket, but here the company is paying. It will be benefit for the company as well as for yourself also personally. But why I told, because career planning can lead to a skilled and more knowledgeable workforce, as employees are given the opportunity to develop new skills and knowledge that can benefit both the employee as well as the organization. But so you can say overall, by providing opportunities for job enrichment as career planning, organizations can motivate their employees. They can also create a positive work culture, work environment, and that what happens leads to higher levels of productivity, engagement, and job satisfaction. So this can contribute to the success and growth of the organization. So this was all about advantages, benefits of career planning. But there are some limitations of career planning. What are the limitations? It is not easy to implement. It has its own difficulties, do's and don'ts. It usually does not suit a very small organization, and there should be opportunities of vertical mobility if career planning has to become a reality. Growth expectations of the members of the family in a family concern produce adverse results, and career planning may not be so effective if it is attempted for a period exceeding a decade. See, if you're the same position for the decade means 10 years, I mean, so this is because in every developing country, in a country like ours, India, a developing country, environmental factors like political philosophy, new concepts of social justice, new fiscal and monetary policies, state entrepreneurships on a large scale, state intervention in the working and employment conditions, etc. These all activities, these all factors, not activities, these all factors, they affect the growth of the industrial enterprise and other organizations. So you have to be very careful. So these are the limitations which always objective, which always acts like a burden. Okay. So business enterprise which should be expanding if career has planning is to be feasible, and an organization always must have a very clear corporate goal for ensuing 5, 10, and 15 years. And on the basis of its corporate plans, it should conduct analysis periodically. And interested, goal-directed, motivated, and hardworking employees are very much essential for making a career planning programming effective. And selection of the right person for the right job is an essential prerequisite for career planning. This is very important. Selection of right person for the right job is an essential for prerequisite for career planning. So maintenance of proper age balance in career planning is also very much necessary. Management of career stress. Then career planning will be made effective when it takes the form of a fair promotion policy, supported by a systematic training for those who are trainable, willing, and eager to learn a higher skill. Sometimes, you find you join at the same time, but somebody else who has joined later on, junior to you, has been given the promotion, so you feel demotivated. So these are many things. So once you're demotivated, it also has reflects on the your ability, and also on the your performance, and obviously the organization, because that is the organization you're working for. So these always has to be taken care of. There should be a fair promotion policy, okay, that should be applicable to all the employees. But it doesn't happen always. I mean it doesn't always means it doesn't happen, you can see. Summary. So individual employee careers must be of concern to organizations and management in order that human resources may be developed to meet changing environmental conditions. And a career is a sequence of separate but related work activities that provides continuity, order, and meaning to a person's life. Now, although career planning, manpower planning, succession planning, they are not synonymous, but they are complement and are interdependent for their effective working and implementation. And all the three are very much essential for the organizational growth and development, effective utilization of available human resources, and productivity. You become more productive as an individual, you also increase the productivity of your organization. So manpower planning provides an inventory of the skills and potential available within an organization, and the career plan provides a picture of the succession plan. So yes. Anyway, so this was all about the career planning. I'll show you a video. 1 minute. There's a video. I'll show you a video that is based on career planning. Okay. Kabiru, you are able to understand? You are able to understand?
Very well, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Good.
So you think you might be a great project manager, but you need to enhance your skills? Then get this course on Udemy. You'll learn the tools.
Yes. See, you need to define your goals. There are short-term goals, mid-term goals, long-term goals.
Yes, ma'am.
Reflect on what you have achieved. That is very important. Think about what you want and don't want. You should identify who can. You need to have connections. See, use alumni networks, your seniors.
That is networking.
Get a mentor or a coach to support you with your plan. You need to reevaluate and update your plan each year.
Evaluation progress.
So, got it? So you got, these are some successful plans, steps to successful career planning. So I just wanted small videos so you have an idea and you also won't feel bored, just looking at the PPTs and all, you should have something to motivate you, and that is how you refresh.
Yes, ma'am. Very well. And what do you think of
Okay.
by using self-assessment?
Yes, tell me. What do you think
Self-assessment.
about? Self-assessment.
Self-assessment.
See, the thing is, yes, I got it. I'll just tell you. Self-assessment is basically what happens. You need to assess yourself. There's a saying that short-term goals, mid-term goals, long-term goals. So you have goals. Sometimes you have to evaluate all those and you have to assess yourself. So, earlier used to work for 8 hours a day. Now you can work for 10 hours a day. So you have to assess yourself in the sense that, as I told you, you have to learn, de-learn and relearn. You have to learn the skills. You have to know what is the what is your market value, because you have achieved this experiences, you have achieved this, different I mean, you got lot of recognition, awards. So now you know your worth value. So you have to self evaluate. Suppose if you are joining an organization, you should join this organization as a senior level manager. Okay, so that is what is self evaluation is very much necessary, because that is the you need to evaluate yourself. There are various factors. On these factors, whether my productivity will increase, whether it is not only benefit for myself but also the benefit for the organization, how I can be more productive for the organization. You should know your sometimes you have some hidden skills that also you need to identify. Then you should know, compete with the market. You should know what are your strengths, what are your weakness, and you should work on your weakness to get it more, I mean, to get it as your strength. Like, you have strength as your weakness. You know your strength as well as you know your weakness, so you should work on your weakness so that you can make it your strength. So that is only you have to self evaluate. Okay, got it? Is
Yes,
it
ma'am.
okay?
It's okay, ma'am.
Was I able?
It's okay.
Okay, okay. So this is about this one is about employees counseling. What is counseling? Like, we all know, suppose you are unable to decide which career after your school, you wanted to join the college and you don't know which one you wanted to join. You go to an engineering college and they tell you counseling. They tell you, no, you can be a good engineer, you have the application skills. Then again you think, no, I should join as a management, I should study management. So sometimes you are unable to think. So counseling is basically, you can say, someone who gives you some ideas, looking into your profile and all. But we are talking about employees counseling. Why employees counseling is very much necessary? Because this is unit 17. Okay, so after basically employee counseling is very much necessary, because they advise you. First they try to know your problems. They give you some advice, give you some recommendations, make some opinions, try to solve your issues, give you some suggestions, support you psychologically. Then you can say you are being counseled, you are being motivated, you are being encouraged. And especially after reading this unit, you'd be able to understand what is counseling and why there is a need for counseling, what are the basic skills of counseling, and decide upon the different types of counseling that can be provided to the employees, and understand the effect of counseling on the organizational outputs as a whole. Many organizations, they always feel and they have felt the need of guiding and helping their employees to solve their problems. In schools and in schools, in colleges, now they have a counselors. What happened earlier, suppose it is not, suppose you have a break up with your girlfriend or break up with your boyfriend. So you are totally down, and also sometimes you have to go to the counselor who will advise you and all, because it has a very negative impact on your health, your performance and everywhere. I'm giving an example. Similarly, You take the example of organizations, also, in organization, maybe, you are not, because of your ill health, you are not able to perform well, and you think that your performance level is going down, you are not able to, there is always a timeline where you need to achieve the target, but you are unable to achieve the target in a proper time, and you feel demotivated. So that times that counselors come you, and they motivate. Basically, this we are talking about employees counseling. So employees counseling is, see, in a college life or in school or in personal life and all, you may have a counselor. Those are different types of counseling depending on the situations you face. But we are talking about employees counseling. What does employees counseling is? It is another important aspect, you can say, of motivating the employees. Okay. And it also involves providing them the support, and providing guiding giving guidance to the employees who may be experiencing personal or professional challenges that are affecting their work performance as well as motivation. And what happens through employee counseling, organizations can address issues. What are the issues? You are very becoming very stressed because you are being loaded with lot of works. Then there's a work life balance. Sometimes it's very difficult to maintain work life balance. You have the work, you have to come to the office, get your work done. You have been, a target is there. At the home you go, you have some other issues, you have to attend other, your festivals and all. You have to clean your house, you have to purchase things for the festivals and all. I mean, so it is very, sometimes at times, and it's very difficult to maintain the work life balance. And there are also conflicts with colleagues that happens. There are, office politics going on, that everywhere it's exists. Okay. Then career development concerns. So this, what happened, this employee council, they address all these issues. What type of the issues? The issues include that stress, you are being stressed too much, how to maintain work life balance. Then there is sometimes conflicts with colleagues, so that is also there. And career development concerns. Now, by providing a safe and confidential space for employees, to discuss their challenges, organizations can help them to find solutions and support them in overcoming the obstacles. And you can say employee counseling, they can also help to improve the communication and relationships within the organization, as it fosters, as it helps to foster trust, faith, openness between employees and their managers or HR professionals. Now, this can lead to a more positive and supportive work environment, which in turn can increase the motivation and job satisfaction. So, counseling means basically to advise someone and regarding some factors that affecting the counsel's life. Okay. And it is basically, in one day's counseling doesn't, you can also say like mentoring, in college we mentor the students, mentoring the students. Sometimes when we find that the student is, some issues are there, and in college, this is girlfriend boyfriend issues very common, so we have to properly mentor them. I mean, counsel them. So counseling is basically it is not a 1 day or 2 days event. It's a long time process. Slowly you can evaluate yourself, whether you are improving, now you are finding yourself better, in better health, better mind setup, and so on. So counseling is a long time process which is being aimed at helping the persons out of their emotional problems, and attends a better excuse me, and attends a better mental health. And employee counseling or counseling is basically, you can see, it's a discussion between the counselor and the counsel, which is aimed at making the counsel person feel better and comfortable about the self, and thus better equipped to deal with the daily life problems and work situations. Now, there are some characteristics of counseling. What are the characteristics of counseling? Now, some of the characteristics of counseling, it is basically, as I told you, it is a communication between the counselor and the counselee, the who is being counseled. It's an exchange, he wants to know what's happening. You have to be very open minded. If you try to if you try to hide something, that would be very difficult. So you have to be very open minded. So it's an exchange of ideas, sorry, it's an exchange of ideas between the two. And counseling is a process and not an advice giving process. You see, I can tell you, okay, you do this, that will be, I can suggest you, after this you are doing a bachelor's course, so after this you can do your master's. I'm giving an example. That's an advice. That's not a counseling. But if you come to me, if you tell I'm working somewhere, I'm doing the how it will be beneficial to me, then I can, I can help you, I can counsel you in the sense like, these are the I can be a mentor to you also. These are the paths open for you. After completion, this you can have a better, career growth, better lifestyle. And of course, if it is your hobby, you can, if you, if you should always enjoy your work. That is very important. That gives you satisfaction. So, I mean, this is how you counsel. Then, slowly you think, no, then I will do my masters and also you have to be properly counseled. That is what is thing. Okay. Both professional and non-professional counselors can provide counseling. Like these counselors, I'll tell you like who can be counselors. And counseling is usually private and confidential, so that the employee is free to speak out without a fear of retribution or penalty from the employees. See, now the now what happens, all the big corporates, they are having counselors also. So they are keeping the counselors. Now earlier it was a very now everything is very customized. If you have an issue, you go to the HR or the training HR department. If you want to upgrade yourself, you want to go for training, you can meet the training and development person. Okay, if you think that you need a counseling, you can go to the counseling. If you think that you should, have a diet, vegan diet, you can, the cafeteria is there. There's a vegan diet also, non-veg diet, veg diet, and vegan diet also. And then you feel you are doing exercises, you should have a diet, separate diet also. That diet is also available. If you want, there's a small where sometimes you want to refresh yourself by playing some indoor games like badminton, not badminton, like like chess or carom board, or all those type of indoor games. I mean this, so that you refresh. So now everything is available, and corporates, they are trying to, because lot of studies, lot of researches have been done. So basically, this is, you speak out, but you don't speak out in public. You have to speak out your depression thoughts in front of the counselor. Okay. So counseling is beneficial to the organization as it helps to solve the problems relating to both job and personal life of the employees, thus helping them to perform better on the job and also giving more human look to the organization. Why? Because this is employee counseling. When you're working in an organization, there will be a lot of issues. So there's a counselor is there. Sometimes university has a counselor, because there are it has a medical college also. So if anyone has some issues, they can directly go to the counseling. They don't have to pay any fees as such. Otherwise, these counselors also, they are quite expensive also. And for each meeting, for each sitting, like you can say, once you meet them, you have to meet them. For each sitting, you have to pay them. So it becomes an expensive affair also. And now it has become a professional. So people are, this person is from the corporate, so let's grab, we will charge them this and this. Okay, this is what happens. So why there's a need for counseling? A need for counseling exists wherever there is a problem faced by the employees, and the problem can be midlife crisis or an emotional problem or a fear of extra workload due to a promotion and so on. And some of the various situations where counseling is required are stress, yes, disciplinary action taken, then there are mid-career issues also there, pre-retirement. You're working in an organization for so long years, and then your retirement comes, so you spend so long hours, in your organization. Now slowly you have to retire from the, so sometimes, so that also has a very negative impact. Thing is that is the reason, you should always have a hobby. Hobby is very important. See, this is your daily life, going to I mean, if you are working somewhere, if you're attached with an organization, you have a 9 to 5 job, so but beside that, you also need to have some hobbies. That hobbies can include singing or reading books or dancing, playing any instrument, or making, some creative activity, creative, different types of what to say. I mean, like pottery and all those type of different creative arts and crafts you can make. So there are different types of hobbies. Like I can always tell you, it is very necessary to have a hobby. That is what hobby is very essential. It is not only during your leisure time that you should be involved in your hobby, get involved, but sometimes when you feel low, maybe something happens in the workplace. So how to take out your frustration? What happened when you get involved in that hobby? It gives you much. You have a, your whole mind setup changes. Okay, so that is hobby is very necessary. They also tell you that. That's why I tell there are many nowadays these organizations, the corporate culture, they have all these indoor games. They have a gym. So sometimes they feel like, I should go and do some cycling, or if I wanted to go for some meditation, I can do that. At the same time, I want to play chess or play carom board. So you can do that. Or you have this lawn tennis or table tennis. Lawn tennis, not, no, leave lawn tennis, you have a table tennis, and you can go and do this. So this is very important. It gives you relaxation. That is what is very essential. So what are the just a few benefits of counseling? Less anxiety, greater self confidence, you have better relationships, regaining emotional balance, increase assertiveness. You are assertive, no, you'll get it done and all. Stress relief, that is very important. Now everybody is having lot of stress because they are being tied up with lot of work. That is there, but beside that, they are always glued to the laptop and mobile glued to the mobile. So many messages come, so they're glued to the mobile. So they they feel. And especially if you see these social medias like Facebook and Instagram, you saw, oh, your friends are going here, your friends are doing that. So again, that also creates, so he is going there, she is going there, I'm unable to go. And again it creates another, you have this stress and all. So sometimes you should go home, relax. You should keep your, because we see, when before going to sleep we see our mobile. Just getting up in the morning, you just see your mobile. So sometimes you keep the mobile away. You feel relaxed, you do some meditation. You should give at least 10 minutes to yourself, which we are not giving. That is very important. So ability to set boundaries, yes, that is very important, because we are working, I told you, from the personal point of view, but from the professional point of view, you should have the abilities to set boundaries. So this I should do, this is what requires, everything. And once always sitting, you should always always try to see the environment. There's a lot to learn from the environment, but we nowadays we hardly see the environment, because all the trees are being cut, and in there, you'll see high rise buildings and all. So what is that? That what happens. So once you look at the greenery, that also gives a relief to your eyes, because you are always glued to the mobiles or the laptops. Once, see, I'm teaching, so I just interact with my students. So I'm not very much always glued to the laptop or mobiles. But yes, those who are in the IT sector, like Kaberu and all, you might be always glued to the laptop. So you see, you have a stress on your eyes, not only stress on your, you have to exercise your brain a lot. So sometimes you should relieve all this, keep it aside, go for swimming or go for cycling, go for brisk walking, go for running. That what requires. Okay. So and the thing is that these are few things. The functions are like advice, then uh, you have reassurance. Then you have reassurance can be meant as encouragement also. Then communication. So counseling is mostly about proper communication has to be there. There is a, the sender and the the listener also, there should be a proper communication. So the sender and the receiver, you are the one who talks, and the other one, you should be a good listener, because it is always said, see, one is the communication is between two persons. So one is the sender, the other is the receiver. There should be a proper, clear communication. And the second thing is that, what happens, you should be a good listener to be a good talker. Okay. So you first listen, then you put your views. Okay. So Proper communication is required to pass the employee problems to the management and also to air the views of the management to the employees. And communication skills like listening, feedback, and so on are required for an effective counseling session. Very important, like we take the feedback from the students, how was your class, were you able to understand, do you think that we should be more rigorous, more practice session is there, not only theory part, that there are practical sessions has to be done. So this is very important. Then what happened? Release emotional tension. Then clarified thinking. It should be very clarified thinking. Reorientation. What happens once reorientation leads a person to have a better self-image, and it also helps to treat the people who are going through depression. So clear self-image leads to be more confident person and also to be a more effective worker. Now, who can be counselors? Like any persons who can be a like 1 second, 1 minute, sir. हाँ, अच्छा आ रही So, that, there is a HRD manager, voluntarians, outside agencies, in-house counselors. These are okay. So, skills and techniques. To say some objects, listening skills, empathy, acceptance, congruence, and all this. So, this is what is very much required, skills and techniques. And summarize, I just wanted to summarize because there are basic counseling functions such as advice, reassurance, communication, release of emotional tension, clarified thinking, and also reorientation. So this helps in winning the trust of the counsel. And the counseling session should be directive, that is a counselor to counseling only, or non-directive when the counselor does not interfere and it is just a counselor to counselor session. And finally, cooperative, where both the counselor and the counselee participate. See, just now what happens, this is completed. So I'll just show you a video. What happened? I'll just show you a video because there's a call from there's a meeting now. I'm just coming. I'll just show you. Can you just wait for 5-10 minutes, Kaberu? Or I'll
Yes.
come after 10 minutes. I'll show you a video. Okay? There's a
Okay, ma'am.
meeting,
No problem. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay,
In
okay.
the meantime, I'll just show you the video. Okay? One sec.
No problem, ma'am.
I'll
I'm
try
waiting.
to. Uh-huh. Hmm. This is workplace counseling. 1 minute. You see it, then I'll just show you.
Okay.
1 minute, huh? I'll just show you the video. So you see the video, and then 1 sec, 1 minute, huh?
Yes,
I'll
ma'am.
come after
It's
five.
visible.
I'll join after 10 minutes. Okay? Is it okay?
Okay, okay. It's okay, ma'am. It's okay.
Kaviru?
Yes, ma'am.
At 10 minutes लगेगा. Kaviru, are you there? Yes. Yes, sorry. Actually, see what happens. We suddenly had a meeting, so I had to rush. Okay, so I have another one PPT. That is that, another PPT that says we have the last unit 18, that is performance monitoring and
Okay, ma'am.
appraisal. Okay, so I'll just show that. Huh? Okay, kindly be. Uh, uh, Sorry for the inconvenience. I'll just
No.
get that one sec. So you saw the video, no? It was a
Yes,
1 minute
ma'am.
video
It's not
anyway,
that long.
but that was about employees
Yeah, it's not
counseling.
lengthy.
It was a short video. I had a video. It was a 15 minutes video. It was about a case study on McDowell's. It was a very, nice. But that day, no one of you are there. Maybe I'll try to show it tomorrow or some other day. But it's a 15 minutes video. That video was okay. So the last PPT, the last unit is, this is unit 18, performance monitoring and appraisal. Okay. You'll be there. I'll just 1 minute, one
Okay,
second.
ma'am.
Hmm. Yeah. So this is about performance monitoring and appraisal. Okay, this is a unit 18. So basically, when we once you go through this unit, you should be able to appreciate the role of performance appraisal in the achievement of organizational objectives. Now, Kaveri, you had asked me this question of self-evaluation and all. So, in when you work for an organization, you have this, self-appraisal form where you need to fill up that form in the sense like how you evaluate yourself. There are a lot of factors, and how you evaluate yourself. Maybe those are on 10 Likert scale, on 5 Likert scale, whether it's good or very good or satisfied or poor or very poor. It's like, so you can do your self appraisal also, and you have to caution yourself about the serious problems that is problems that may make the performance appraisal system unreliable and invalid, and devise methods that will ensure objectivity in the personal appraisal system, and use performance appraisal as development tool. Now, what is basically performance monitoring and appraisal? So when we talk about organizational, a major concern of every manager should be to contribute positively towards the achievement of the organizational objectives, and organizational effective is often equated with managerial efficiency. So as a manager, you can ensure organizational effectiveness only by guaranteeing the full utilization of the human resources available to the individual employees under your guidance. So here there is a need for monitoring and measuring the performance of employees. And this unit, our attempt shall be to understand the meaning and relevance of performance appraisal systems. We shall also examine the popular methods of appraisal, the common problems of this method, what are the problems you face, and look at the possibilities of overcoming this system. Okay. So yes, what is performance appraisal? It is a process through which an individual employee's behavior and accomplishments for a fixed time period are measured and evaluated. And the major purpose of this, measuring and evaluating is to assess the value of an employee based on various considerations. As I told you, there are a lot of factors on those factors you have to evaluate yourself rather than only on productivity. It is not only on productivity, but there are other factors also which would judge you. And this appraisal, once you fill up this appraisal form, you are being given promotion, or you are being given hike and all. So that is how it is being taken care of. Okay. And performance appraisal is a systematic and objective way of judging the worth or ability of an employee in performing his or her task. It helps to identify those who are performing their assigned tasks well and those who are not, the reasons of such performance. So performance appraisal is thus, it is the process, you can say, of reviewing an individual's performance and then a progress in a job and assessing his or her potential for future improvement. So it is a systematic method of obtaining, analyzing and recording information about an employee. Now, when we talk about, as I told you, it's a systematic evaluation of an employee's performance. But, it is typically I just also want to mention you should know that it is being conducted by a supervisor or a manager. Okay. Because, a manager's under him, maybe 20 persons are reporting to him. So he have to get the performance appraisal of those people. So it is basically conducted by a supervisor or manager and is used to assess the employee's strengths and weaknesses, also set goals for improvement and make decisions about promotion, raises and other rewards. The performance appraisal process often involves setting specific performance criteria or goals for the employee, then also collecting feedback from the co-workers and other stakeholders, and also some formal review committee meetings, formal review meetings are being held. Those are being organized to discuss the employee's performance. And the appraisal, as I told you, the appraisal may also include a self-assessment by the employee as well as a discussion of career development and training opportunities. Now, there are some assumptions like if the production can be measured, there is less need for employee appraisal because each person can be judged according to the amount produced. But it is always not that case. But if the work performed cannot be measured, if the work performed that cannot be measured, then the personal characteristics which lead to increased productivity and contribute to employee performance must be determined. And it is assumed here that the traits and the characteristics which lead to productivity, these traits and characteristics can be perceived, isolated, measured, and evaluated. Now, there are the following characteristics or the factors that are generally accepted as meritorious basis for appraisal. What are they? What is the work quality? That is your quality of work. Then the reliability, proper cooperation, good knowledge about the product or about the subject or about the product you are handling. Then the initiativeness, then the attitude, you should always have positive attitude. Then the safety consciousness, then the attendance, that is also very important. Your learning ability, how you grasp your health and physical condition, adaptability, then judgment and responsibility. So these are the characteristics are taken into account. Now, what are the problems of there are some problems of validity. Just wanted to inform you here also. The purpose of performance appraisal is to provide feedback to the employees, and also you get to you get to know the feedbacks and also identify the areas where they need improvements and recognize and reward high performance. Sometimes, if you have really performed well, then you should be awarded or you should be given some certificate. As I told you, especially if you see all these food outlets like um, uh, KFC, then CCD and all, McDonald's. Then if you visit them, you'll find, especially the staff or the employees there, some of them are wearing or putting on a badge where it's an employee of the month. So these all really, these are all taken into accountability, like for your performance appraisal. So you have performed well, that is the reason you have become the best worker of the month and so on. So these are this is how. So what so what you have, you identify the areas for improvement and you recognize and reward the high performance. It can also be used to identify the potential problems or areas of concern that may need to be addressed through additional training or coaching. Okay, so here comes the validity problems. You have to Some performance appraisals are intended to evaluate the performance and potential of employees. Still, they may not be valid indicators of what they are intended to assess because of a variety of limitations are always there. One, there is the halo effect, then there's the bias. Halo effect means it is the tendency of the evaluators to base assessments of all individual characteristics on the raters. As I told you, Likert scale is the raters. Overall impression of the person being evaluated is termed as halo effect. Then bias, this is, what is bias. Very often the appraisal may become invalidated because of the biases of an appraiser. That is one. What are the methods of appraisal? There are like global essay and ratings, trait rating scales, ranking procedures, critical incident methods, and all. Now, global essays and ratings, in a typical global rating approach, the rater is being asked to provide an overall estimate of performance without making distinctions among performance dimensions. Then what do you mean by trait rating scales? Graphic or trait rating scales usually comprise a list of personality traits. And what do you mean by ranking procedures? In such a procedures, one is required to provide an overall evaluation of performance, either by checking one of the following categories like top 1%, then top 3%, top 5%, top 10%, top 30%, top 50%, and so on. Then there's a critical incident methods. While using a critical incident method, one must document the positive and negative behavioral events that have occurred during a given performance period. So how do you make the performance appraisals more effective? Now, these are the things. If performance appraisals are to be successful, they should be based on performance standards, and they should be result in a face-to-face performance review and be based upon multiple assessments. It varies from organizations to organizations. Some companies, like every year they are having this. Some companies, usually who are the multinational companies, then you have who are working for corporates and all. They have they have a proper systematic, very customized. All these are being made performance every year. They will have the performance appraisal during this month, and these are the criteria. How much increment will be there. So everything is very properly customized. One can go through the rules and regulations. But some companies, some organizations, you don't have. Sometimes they'll be having an appraisal now, maybe after again 2 years they'll have the appraisal, or they'll have the increment or something. So it varies from a company. But yes, government organizations and the good best private companies, also corporates, they maintain this, follow this procedure. But rest, companies which are, small organizations or some like that, they usually don't follow this. They have their own way of doing. The performance reviews, the performance of performance, the purpose of performance reviews, the purpose of performance review is to analyze what a person has done and is doing in his or her job in order to help him or her to do better by developing his or her strengths or by overcoming the weaknesses. And the phrase performance review suggests a deliberate stock taking exercise, and this stock taking is an analysis of the actual performance based on the predetermined goals and standards. Now, what do you mean by counseling? As I have told you, now this is also very important, performance reviews, because counseling is a part of performance reviews if they are to achieve the prime purpose of helping people to improve and develop. See, performance reviews means how you review how your performance is being reviewed. So sometimes, as I told you, because of your health issues, you are not able to give your best, so there should be a proper counseling. So counseling is also a part of performance reviews. See, each and every whatever we have discussing for the last 2 days, each one is interrelated with the other. Okay, like you have the task analysis, you have recruitment and selection, we have induction and placement, then we have staff training and development, then we have the motivation and productivity, then employees motivation and job enrichment, then you have a career planning, then employees counseling, then performance point. So these are all step-by-step process. So in a well-conducted performance review session, one should ensure that the employee discusses the work problems. What are the issues that is being faced in the work area, or she should be encouraged to bring out his or her own solutions to them. And this will provide the intrinsic motivation that can be derived from work itself and also the process of tackling work problems. So summary, just wanted to about this summary. This unit was basically meant to sharpen your understanding of performance appraisal system as a managerial tool. So you should always remember these are all different strategies that is being used, and it also acts as a managerial tool. And appraisal has been dealt primarily, it's a fundamental process of communication and also as a technique of organizational intervention. And it has attempted to increase your sensitivity as an appraiser by bringing into focus the manifold problems that beset the performance appraisal systems and methods. And finally, it ought to have increased your skill in evaluating the performance of others more systematically and objectively. So that was all about, I just wanted to, so basically you can say the performance, the purpose of performance appraisal is to provide feedback to the employees, then identify the areas where they need improvement, then also recognize their performance, reward them for their performance. And it can also be utilized to identify the potential problems or areas of concern that may be addressed through counseling, okay, through counseling or any other additional training and such. So performance appraisals are typically, you can say, conducted on an annual basis. As I told you, it's not like every month or so, it's every year. It's being conducted every year, once in a month. That is, decided, I mean, vary from company to company. Although some organizations, they may conduct it once in I mean twice in a year also. I mean, it varies, okay. So they are an important tool. You should always remember they are an important tool for managing as well as developing the talent within an organization, and help to ensure that the employees are aligned with the organization's goals and objectives. So you have to ensure, as I told you, you have to see that you are also benefited and the company is also being benefited. So this is basically, this appraisal performance is being done so that it is ensured that this can help you to ensure that the employees are being aligned with the organization's goals and objectives. Now here I have a video. I'll just show you. Okay.
Okay.
Kabiru, thank you for being so patient, Okay,
it's
I'll
my
show you that.
it's my
1 minute. See, you were not there na last 2 3 days, so you are trying to make it. One
it's
minute, huh? One sec.
these 2 to 3 days
That's
I
one.
was I have experienced some busy days.
1 minute. Now I'll show it to you. So thank you for your patience. Actually, today I think we also started late, also little bit, but anyway.
No problem. You don't have to mention.
So here I start, huh? Okay, this is travel and tourism employment opportunities performance appraisal. This is also 1.5 minute video. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
See, meeting their objectives and where they are not. Okay, so that was a short video. So now you have any questions? I hope you understood. Kabiru, do you have any questions?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. First of all, I would like
Hmm.
to say thank you
Tell
for
me.
this detailed explanation towards this
Thank you.
course, I can say, because we are discussing on
Hmm.
human
Hmm.
resource development. So,
Yes.
regarding this performance appraisal, I can
Hmm.
see in some companies or organizations, sometimes colleagues may be asked to provide input on employees' performance, particularly in team-based settings, which is
Self
also
appraisal.
referred to as peer appraisal. Peer,
Huh.
peer
Huh.
appraisal, where where a colleague may be asked to provide an input on an employee's performance.
Hmm. No, you are telling, see, one is your self appraisal that I have told you, and another is, one self appraisal is there, but the main one is the appraisal that is being divided, that is being given by your manager or the supervisor. Okay,
No,
the
ma'am,
supervisor is,
what
hmm,
I'm trying to say here is that suppose I am a worker
hmm,
in an organization, and my
hmm, hmm,
superiors, or I can say the high level managers or the supervisor, can,
hmm,
I can say,
hmm,
make someone to make
hmm.
an input to assess my the way I work or something like that. So we call that peer
Okay,
appraisal,
yeah,
peer,
that is what
because you are
happened.
supervised by your colleague.
Oh, that is known as, oh, that is peer appraisal. You are telling, huh? Peer appraisal, huh?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay. So
Yes.
yes, see, a lot of new, these input. I mean, earlier there was no peer appraisal, but as you told, I understand, like your colleague or your someone from your peer group. That another thing is that suppose if you wanted to work for any IT companies, I know there is, referral. If someone gives you a reference, they also gets an incentive for that. So I mean, lot of I mean such as you told peer appraisal and all. So earlier these were not there, but nowadays lot of this type of systems have are being incorporated. I mean, I think when this
Yes,
type
ma'am.
of systems are being incorporated, there is more clarity and maybe no, not that much bias and all. So, I mean, even you can create something new of yours also, where you find, So that is always there.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah, I understand. But the problem here, over here is
Hmm.
that we used to face some problems regarding the
Hmm.
appraisal. I can say because I can say most of the organization over here in the country. I'm talking about
Hmm.
non-governmental country organizations. I mean, this kind
Yes,
of
private.
human resource, yes, human resource development,
Hmm.
I can say management,
Hmm.
they are not in place
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
sometimes you can see the managers are only
Yes,
looking
they are
after
not in place.
their own interest. Yes, of course, man. So that's the problem we are facing. Even in my organization, the organization I work, that's what happened because there is
Hmm. Hmm.
a vacant title which is yet
Hmm.
to be assigned, or because nobody is looking after that, which is
Yes.
I am
HR?
entitled
Hmm.
to that title. I mean. But because, yes, because of
Okay.
the, I can say, the interest of the managers, they fail to
Hmm.
I
You are
can
not getting
say,
that
do something
benefit.
like asking me to be. I'm not
Hmm.
getting that benefit, of course, man. So that's what
Kabiru,
will
I
always
just wanted to say
sometimes
this is
making
very
the
common. Hmm.
progress to be less.
Yes. Delay. Yeah, the progress is being delayed.
Of course, man.
And this is a very common problem in our country also. Only the government organizations and the blue chip companies and well known, companies, they have a proper HR. Even in hotels and all, unless and until they are the star category hotels and all. So they are in place. Otherwise, all these maximum private organizations, they do have a HR department, but as it will, they promise something, but the result is not there. And sometimes all these biases there. Then you have this office politics and all. So this, you can say everywhere it exists. Most of the private small companies, it is there. I had also experienced, this type of activities, but anyway, sometimes you need to think that it is, you always try to do something which would benefit yourself and also for the organization. But it doesn't always, you have to give something, or sometimes the company says what you give them. They don't allow you to, they don't, suppose you wanted to attend some conference, they may not allow you, but this conference needs to be attended because you come to learn so many things, what are the new ideas, new suggestions. So these are always existing and all. That is why it is very necessary. You should work for a good organization. Even
Yes, ma'am.
sometimes, your salary package, your salary structure may not match with your, you have some perception and all. It may not match with that. But yes, the company, the status of the company, that really makes a very, very good impact. The company you're working for. Sometimes it's not necessary how much salary you are earning, but the company you are working for, that really matters. When you go to another company, they know you work for this company, so without much interview or something, because they know that you are being trained in a good company, one of the best companies, you are have properly performed well. So that is how everywhere this type of so we are still a developing country, that is what happens. Many things
Yes,
have
ma'am.
to be
And
synchronized, has to be put in proper
the
place,
problem,
which are not being.
the problem is that they will be asking for your ideas. If the
Hmm.
because they don't have that kind of
Hmm.
experience, like in the IT industry, they don't have some, I can say, new
Hmm.
ideas, so they will be asking for my ideas sometimes.
Hmm.
So is there any idea that you
Yes.
can just tell us so that we can make the development of the company or something like that? Kabir, do you have any idea on
The
mind or
company
something
will
like that?
benefit.
So sometimes I used to just
Hmm.
hold my idea. I cannot tell them.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
of course. That's why sometimes I used to just hold my ideas
Hmm.
because they cannot
Hmm.
even.
This no, no,
Yes, of
that,
course.
see, you have
So
spoken your mind. That is true. Because see, depending on that idea, they generate revenue. Okay, depending on that idea, they build their models. Huh?
of course, ma'am.
They build their models. You know how the strategies are based on those. So those ideas are either from you or from me, but you are not being actually benefited. Sometimes, it is a very common issue, common problem. They get the ideas from the staff supervisor. Some people, they are working at a, not at a supervisor level, they are at a very low level, but the ideas they have, it's really to be appreciated. So what you told is very exactly.
Yeah,
Sometimes you should not share your idea also. That is what happens.
yeah. What I told them is that they should at least give me a seat, so I can say, give me a title that I can be able to give all these ideas out. Because I cannot be just,
Hmm.
I'm as a low level manager. How can I be just sharing some
Hmm.
ideas that
Hmm.
the higher level managers
Yes,
can
yes,
be able
yes.
to do? So that's why I just stay mute
Hmm.
without saying anything.
Yeah, sometimes you have to stay mute without, otherwise, that is, you should know. Very important. What you see, what you told, this is very money fact. And it happens everywhere. Sometimes, you are not being valued. That is what. You
Yes, ma'am.
give some
You're quite
ideas,
valid.
and that is the reason why you feel demotivated and you cannot give your performance. Even you think, why should I give when I am not being appreciated, when not I am being given this I told you that about this NSS, National Service Scheme. So the day we started that TS-7, I was taking TS-7, no? Tourism and
Yeah.
environment. The very first day I got this award, 2022-23, for my the university award, NSS award. That was my contribution for the NSS towards the society. So that day also I was, anyway. So I always think it is not only your, limited to your studies and all. You should also think out of the box. You should always have some, your, like your ideas, knowledge should be shared. Like it should be contributed to the society also. Okay. I mean,
Yes, ma'am.
so, but anyway, you try, you always do your best. I always find you a student, who has that capability, has that ability. And I believe you are quite matured enough, intelligent enough to handle this type of situations, because once you are experienced, no, slowly and steadily you'll come to know, like, how people are. If you are getting a good boss, then you are lucky enough. But if you are
Yes.
not, then again it's I mean
Yeah, but
so
currently
this is,
now
but
I'm trying to
pray that.
change. I'm trying to just change the organization I'm working with because I would like to just run away.
Okay, okay. Okay, that's good. Anyway, so you learn, you try to explore. You have this tourism and HR department. Try to explore, because these are all, ancillary. Like sometimes I told, no, main departments, like in the hotel you have like four main major departments, and HR, then your accounts, then your maintenance. These are sales and marketing. These are the ancillary departments. Whereas food production, food and beverage service, then your front office, which I teach, then housekeeping. These are the four main major departments. But since you are working with the IT, so there are a lot of companies. It's not only the tourism related companies. You can work for banks and all, financial companies. If even if it is not a hardcore IT company, even you can work for consulting companies, IT sector, even in hotels and tourism, where this IT is also very important. Everywhere it is now important. Since you are from the IT background, so you should try to explore, where are the vacancies, where you can see that it fits your requirements. You have those experiences, you have those qualifications. That is what is important.
Yes, ma'am. What I would like to explore more is that under the airline and ticketing in the tourism sector, because as an
Yes, airline
IT
and ticketing, very
individual,
important.
yes,
Uh-huh.
right? Yes, of
Uh-huh.
course, I
Yes.
focus on that kind of aspect.
Yes, yes, that is important. Airlines and ticketing, that is very important, where you need to work on the IT. I mean, you can work. Plus, there's a lot to learn, because, they have this dynamic prices. I was reading that day, why they have this dynamic prices, how they want to capture. And, I also came to know, if you wanted to see the, suppose if you want to fly from one destination to another destination, and if you want to see the fare rate of a particular airlines, if you keep on checking, no, they will increase the price from that particular site. So what, there is some
Of
other
course, ma'am.
site where you can go, then you can check. Suppose if you keep that is there, no. So I came to know so many things. I come to know, like from my students also and all. And of course there is I mean, every day some other new technologies coming up, and it's becoming challenging. So you concentrate. I think what you said, that's very important. I mean, you can concentrate on that.
For sure, yeah.
Okay. So that was a good. Whenever I find we have a healthy
Thank you very
conversation,
much.
because, I also wanted to know what your needs, measures. Thank you. So you have a good day. Okay. If any other queries, you can just let me know.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So take care, Kabiru.
No
Okay.
problem.
Thank you.
I'll try next week. Yes.
Anything you want to ask?
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. See you next time.
Okay.
Thank you.
So thank you. Thank you. Have a good day. Nice to see you
Not
today.
now, ma'am. Maybe
Okay.
tomorrow.
Virtually. Nice to see you
Thank
today
you.
virtually. Yes,
Thank
you
you.
should always keep hope, that
Thank
is
you,
what
ma'am.
is important.
it was a
And you try to,
it was a 3 day
I
break.
mean, you also share. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
It was a what break? Okay. Okay then, huh? Okay. Take care.